We're back with another video. I know I'm late on this one, so sorry about that. But we are back with Skyrim name lands innocent man in jail for 18 months by Penguin Zero. Let's get to it. Another Penguin Zero. I'm excited.
Boy, howdy, this is just diabolical. I don't even know how to preface this. I think it's time we just get into the meat and potatoes. There was an innocent man who spent 18 months in prison because of his Skyrim-themed username being misidentified as the suspect they were looking for.
An innocent man spent 18 months in prison after police underscored in his Skyrim username. Investigators mistakenly requested details for the user Fusroda instead of Fusroda. What?
For in a case because they missed an underscore in his username, thus they got the wrong guy, and there was never any evidence that linked this individual to the crime in which they were searching for the culprit. So the suspect not only got away with it, but this innocent man never ever had any evidence to connect him to the crime and still spent the entirety of an 18-month sentence in the fucking slammer.
I'm suing.
Just because of his Skyrim username being misspelled by the authorities.
That poor dude probably lost his job, lost so much stuff for no reason.
So it started in 2018 during a child luring investigation where police were looking for a man using the Kik messaging service under the name Fusroda. Now, I haven't seen Kik messaging service referenced in who knows how long.
Literally.
That just devolved into the most heinous, evil shit imaginable, just like humanity's worst began to populate Kik, and now I think they all moved to Telegram at this point. But like, even in 2018, I feel like it was on its way out and like circling the shitter there to the point where like the only people left were bots or just fucking irredeemable degenerates. But in this case, there was just an innocent man on there who just happened to have a Skyrim-themed username that was similar to the one that they were looking for.
Literally.
So they were looking for Fusroda with 2 underscores after the Fus, but they accidentally requested records for the username Fusroda with only 1 underscore.
How do you mess this up so bad? Like, you don't double check it? You don't confirm or anything? You just said, it's gotta be the one.
After Fus. The one character difference led them not to the perpetrator, but to a Canadian man named Brandon Clamy. And naturally, you would think that the police would then investigate Brandon Clamy after this hiccup here and recognize, oh, we've got the wrong guy. Whoopsie-daisy. Because there was no evidence of the crime on his digital devices, yet still, police arrested Clamy in 2020 on child sex abuse charges and was convicted after a trial in 2023, sentenced in 2024 to 18 months in prison, and served the entire term. That's fucking crazy. Everyone involved in this case should lose their jobs. 100%.
Literally.
I think
literally.
It is entirely fair. They are not fit to be...
All of them should lose their jobs. Being sued. I would have sued the court too. Not gonna lie. Sue the police, sue the court. Fuck you. Fuck you all. Like, I feel so bad for that freaking dude. He was just doing nothing
the positions
wrong.
That they're in. They couldn't do the bare minimum of checking to make sure they got the username correct here. So they found no evidence and then thought to themselves like, did we get the wrong guy? That never crossed their head. They were just so convinced that it has to be that guy because of the username, and they never even bothered to go back and check. So an innocent man had his entire fucking life ruined, spent 18 months in the pen, and not only that, they got him on child sex abuse charges, which means no doubt like his friends and family probably disconnected from him and like abandoned him too because of such awful things there. That those charges are so serious. So his entire life just completely banished to the Shadow Realm because the authorities couldn't do the bare minimum of checking to make sure they got the username right because they're fucking illiterate. And obviously Brandon maintained...
Literally. They couldn't be like, let me double check. Let me do a side-by-side with a paper and the name in front of me. Let's double check that we got every single right because if we mess this up, we're fucked. And now look at you. Fucked. Because you got the wrong person, The other guy is still out there. And you made him serve his entire time in jail. This guy probably lost his job. He just said everyone disconnected from him. Like, this dude is now depressed as shit. And I feel so fucking bad for this dude.
Maintained his innocence and continued to fight his conviction. In the process of preparing his appeal, the username mistake that led to all these years of disruption was finally discovered. So only at the end of all of it, after he had spent all this time in jail, did they finally recognize, oh boy, jeepers, Jiminy Christmas, would you believe it, Brandon? You're gonna laugh. Get a load of this. We spelt the username wrong. We weren't looking for you. No, we did 1 underscore, but we meant to do 2. So the Nova Scotia Court of Appeal overturned Clamey's conviction, writing, Mr. Clamey is factually innocent of the offenses. He should never have been charged, let alone convicted. No shit. No one throughout the entire pipeline here of the law enforcement thought to just double check the username that they requested records of to make sure that it was the right one. So they found no evidence ever of Brandon Clamey linking him to the crimes in which they were investigating. And they still convicted him, and he spent 18 fucking months in prison for this. And now they're just like, yeah, wow, that shouldn't have happened at all. Ain't that a bitch? Brandon, can you believe it? Get a load of this, dude. Our bad. Man, shame on us. Whoa, I can't believe us. I mean, we're so airheaded sometimes, Brandon, but we're sorry. It shouldn't have happened. That's crazy, man. That's actually crazy, because the actual child luring suspect, the actual person that they wanted to get on child sex abuse charges, got to just get away with it and potentially prey on more victims over the course of the last 8 years. Meanwhile, they were over there patting each other on the ass cheeks going, we did it, we got the monster, we got the villain, he's in jail right now. Again, everyone involved in this case needs to lose their jobs. 100%.
Literally.
They are not fit for this position. In fact, they are dangerous to be in this position if they are this incompetent and this lazy to do even the most basic amount of checking, like making sure they got all their ducks in a row. If they are this terrible at it, that it led to an innocent man being in jail for 18 months while an actual monster gets to just roam free willy-nilly, they should not have this job. They are not fit for this position. They should all be fired. They should all be charged as well, I would say, because this is just stupidity to a degree that it is detrimental to a civilized society. They are not conducive to the positions of power that they hold. They need to lose those jobs, bare minimum. Now, this article also even dives into the weeds of what the case was and how everything unfolded. So it was in 2018, from August through December, a 12-year-old Wisconsin girl communicated with an adult male through Kik messaging service, and during the check of the girl's phone, her mother found inappropriate photo of the male, called local police. The Dane County Sheriff's Department responded, deputy took the phone, department ran a forensic search on it, and identified 125 Kik messages between the girl and an adult with the username Foosroda, 2 underscores after Foos. And to identify the person...
125 messages? And you got the wrong dude. And you got the wrong dude. And then he knows, so you probably moved out of country. You fucking idiots. You are supposed to be professionals. You're supposed to do everything you can to make sure this goes correctly. Now, there's parts where if it goes south, there's certain times where it's like, okay, it went south, but it happens, right? Police work, nothing ever goes straight. But you need to check for stuff like this. Specifically for stuff like this, double check. Literally. Because I would be so fucking pissed. Beyond.
And they contacted Kik, but their subpoena accidentally requested information about the Kik username Foosroda with only 1 underscore, which then provided them with Clamey's email address in response. Google records showed the email address was used to access services from an IP in Canada, so they turned it over to the Halifax Regional Police. They took the IP that had been given to local internet provider Bell Alliant and connected the address to the physical address of Brandon Clamey. They obtained a search warrant for his residence, took phones and laptops, And when they searched these devices, they found no evidence relevant to the case.
So why was he convicted? There was no evidence. Why was he convicted with no evidence?
Nothing linking Clamy to the girl, no intimate images. Clamy did have a Kick account, but cops couldn't even show that he had accessed the service during the period in question. And again, this is 2018. Kick was still, like, basically dead then too, and kind of just like a wasteland, a cesspool for just human filth that had been inhabiting it. Like, it wasn't really a super common messaging service, even in 2018. So it's very likely that Clamy just had that Kick account from, like, over a decade ago and just didn't even really actively engage with the platform. But just because they misspelled it, it didn't matter. And they couldn't even prove that he had accessed it during this time in general. And even still, even with all of that lack of evidence, not a single shred, not a morsel of evidence here, he was still arrested and hit with 3 charges. Luring a person under 14 years of age by means of telecommunication, providing sexually explicit material to a child, and possession of child pornography.
Oh, you'll be on my worst day. No evidence? Oh, I'm suing you to the ground. Then after I'm suing you, after I'm using that money to ruin your lives. All the money I get from suing every single one of you who is a part of this, I'm rooting it further. I'm gonna make sure you suffer. Like, in-game YouTube, in-game. But, like, literally, like, there was no evidence. Proof that this guy hasn't accessed, the platform for probably almost over a decade. Because they didn't have anything showing that he was on it. He had nothing, no contact with the victim. Nothing. They didn't even get the victim to be like, I think this is the guy. But I don't think they can. I don't think the victim was. But if the victim was sent images, couldn't they be like, was this your guy? And off of the body look alone, a lot of times you can identify someone just by not looking at their face, just by looking at what the body type was. But like, even then, I get why they don't do that. But like, there's no evidence. They could have been like, that's weird. Why is there no evidence? Double check. Oh, our fault. You'll still be sued, but you won't be as in trouble as you are in now. You'll be in trouble. You'll still be let go, but I don't understand. And I get this was 2018, but like, hello? No one's using their fucking brains at all?
Pornography. The case went to trial where Clamy was found guilty. He then went to prison for 18 months. No one involved, even on the defense side, appears to have noticed the username confusion. That's fucking terrifying, because that is like the #1 thing that you would want to be entirely certain of that you got correct. So not the authorities, not even the defense side. Check to, like, what the fuck? It is mine.
What the people defending me can't recognize the big ass dash, the big ass fucking second dash in the name that is spaced the fuck out compared to the original. No one said, They just said, no, that looks normal. Must be a typo. Like, dude, this poor fucking guy.
Boggling to me. That is baffling. Now, Clamy himself described the discovery about how the single mistake changed the course of his life, where they didn't notice the double underscore. Instead, they only requested the single. And even though this was available at the time of the trial, it was never brought to the attention of the trial judge or anything like that. It somehow just went unnoticed by all parties involved there. So after it was pointed out, the prosecutors took another look and agreed that the appeal should be allowed. Had the case been properly investigated, the court says now, evidence would have identified an individual whose first name is Jay, whose IP address appears to be in California. Given this, the Court of Appeal last week acquitted Clamy on all charges, and his sentence, including the ongoing probation, was vacated. I think it is painfully obvious, just blatantly clear, laid right before you here. This was not properly investigated.
No.
Not even close to a proper investigation whatsoever.
Not done by professionals.
This is garbage.
Nothing.
This is complete trash. And I think Clamy should get a huge payday for this. I feel like he's entitled to a huge monetary compensation.
Literally, retirement money now. Fork it over. My retirement starts today. Now. I ain't going back to work. I don't even got a job anymore. Where my money? Where my money? Because you ruined my life. Now I want the high road.
For the time he spent in jail. 18 months in jail. But not only that, his whole life being ruined as a result of this. Because, again, the charges that he got slapped with and the label that was put on him for it, for which he was innocent of, that is a life-ruining thing. And it's entirely their fault for misspelling and never checking. And somehow even the defense didn't see it. So very incompetent across the board here from the authorities that are supposed to be upholding justice and pursuing justice here. They all failed Clamy, and they failed the little girl here, the victim in the first place, because the perpetrator that was preying on her still got to go free. They never caught him. And as of this moment, as far as I can tell, still haven't caught him. So
oh my God.
Tons of other victims out there at their hands. And it's the authorities that just decided that this is good enough. We won't bother to do any more digging. We probably got it right. No need to check the spelling on the subpoena. That's silly. Just crazy. This was just such a...
Let's not double check if we got the right guy.
Man. That is awful. Absolutely awful. Anyway, that's really about it. So yeah. Boy, howdy.
And, like, that's fucking insane. That is insane. I literally, retirement money. I'm taking the high road. Fuck y'all. I'm being labeled as this. I'm living in my house now. I can't go outside. I can't do this. Because the appeals that go on record, but no one is going to read the appeal. Because no one will give a shit. A label has been put on you so horrible that people don't care about any appeals, about anything. They won't look at that. They'll only look at the bad stuff. Family, friends. He lost everything. He should be paid to live in his house. Because he doesn't have a life anymore. Literally. Like, oh, it's just so bad, dude. Anyways, if you guys like this type of stuff, let me know down in the comments by liking. I said let me know. Jesus. Let me know by liking. Comment if you want. Something like balls or something. But more videos coming up. I'm going to try to react to some more comedy. But I like the drama stuff. The drama stuff always gets me thinking. I always like to put my opinion out there. I feel like I engage more than the funny, just laugh at stuff. But if you guys don't like this, you guys want me to react to other stuff, let me know in the comments. Because I'm always open to reacting to more things. And I'll see you guys in the next one.